Hey guys, running a couple minutes late. Gonna get some coffee. I'll be right back. Hey guys, sorry about that. So we're getting there. Bear with me. I went over today in something. We'll be back to the regularly scheduled. We'll have a video Saturday coming out. I'm just setting up, so just bear with me. I know there's nothing up on the screen yet. We'll be back on Saturday after the holiday, regular scheduled, and we will go from there. But give me 1 second to find this, because if I don't find it now, it's going to be a whole thing. Cool. So I got that done. And then what we'll do is just get this going. And then we're good to go. And apologies for starting late. I'm going to take a bunch of questions today. We're just going to do all Q&A today, and then I'll go over anything you guys really want me to cover. But let's just do Q&A today since I'm starting so late. We haven't done a good Q&A in a while. Yesterday's we started, but let's just drop this over here, and I'll start with like Tesla because you guys always ask about Tesla, and I'll pull that up. And then what we'll do is drop that right here and get rid of this. And where's the bonding? Oh, for God's sake. Hold on. Okay, hold on. That should do it. That do it? Where's the bonding? Yay. Oh, hold on. There it is. Now, the most important thing that you guys should ask me is what kind of coffee I'm drinking. So I did all this research, and apparently Ethiopian Banco is like the highest rated coffee. And I gotta tell you, it's really good, like really good. So I got this one from Red Rooster, but it's freaking delicious. No, it's not an ad, but I love coffee. So I'm going to just take questions, and we'll go from there. I have a ton I can go over, but watch Saturday's video. It's going to be packed. What's up, John? Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. 4 days until UD, possible TM. Yeah, you know, I mean, do you really? Here's the thing with TM. There's a couple things. Let's start with TM. Okay. I don't know that I want to get involved in what's going to happen over there, right? With what's going to go on with the Nikkei and everything else and what they're expecting. I don't know that I want to be involved with that. You can go for it. I don't like coming into surprises. So what happens to me with this or anything with China is unless you're trading that time zone, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, like unless you're really trading it. So I tend to avoid this. Now, that said, if I was to look at this on a longer time frame, which I did do, and I got rid of everything. So if I'm looking like super long term on this kind of stuff, I always, not sometimes, always will look at a 200-week moving average, right? And it will tell you what's going on. And it's not going to be right or wrong all the time. Like it just is. But what you'll find is that if you're buying them over, yeah, you might be wrong, but you're going to know in like a week or two that you're wrong, right? And if you're in this and it's working, it can work very well. You just have to catch them right. And you can stay in this for some time. So if you were looking at this and saying, yeah, I want to be in this because I'm trying to stay in this for years, like back here, you could have bought it at 03, right? And then by 08, like you were in this for 5 solid years, just killing it. And with 63 before it broke down at 100, actually had it double in the darn thing. So, you know, I tend to look at this kind of stuff, and that's kind of how I would play it. Like you're at 75, you broke it, you tried, you failed, you tried, bonk, 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 back over, 135. I mean, like you can catch this for years, man. Like years if you catch it right. And you know what I've noticed about it, and a lot of names are like this, so I tend to pay attention to that. But what I would be trying to do is get it as close to that level on any pullback that I could, because that's where you have support. And if it closed under, I'd get out. Closed over, I'd get back in. And I would literally use the week close. Now, you could use today, right, on the week, because you have late volume week. and be using that low on the weekly if you want to do that. I don't really want to use 20 points on a stock that is on a completely different exchange that I have to go and play with. Like I get it. It's saying it's here, but we both know it's not. So to me, that's my issue with it, and that's how I would look at it. So look, they've got takeout offers. Then people said, oh, they're not going to get bought out. Here's what's really interesting about Macy's. Going in the next year, going into a new administration that is really geared on getting deals done and making sure that deals get done is going to be absolutely huge. Like that's going to be their thing, right? They're going to get deals done. That said, I think that I've seen 2 offers, maybe 3 for them. And it always comes back to the same thing. It always comes back to the same thing, doesn't it? It always comes back to, can they get the money? Can they get it approved? And the answer is, in this administration, I think you're going to get everything that you want approved. I really do. I mean, these people that are usually, and they all are partisan to their thing, but like some of these people try and stay around, but like the head of the FTC, and people are like, oh, they didn't like her, whatever. I think she did an okay job. I think that some of these mergers and some of this stuff should be broken up personally, and I think it'd be better for everybody. I think other stuff doesn't need to be broken up. That's my personal opinion of it. I think some of this stuff has too much power. I think other stuff, even though they're huge, there's not too much power. It is what it is. But like, do I think someone buying Macy's is going to control the department store world? No. And you're seeing it with JWN, right? They just did it. I don't know if you saw this or not. So when this happened, I forget what the price point was that they're doing it at, but JWN just said that they're going to go private, right? And so I forget what that, right? Or did they already go? No, they didn't go yet. I forget what the price point is. You can look it up. But that family's been in control of this stock forever. Right? It was like the easiest thing in the world. They'd always crap on it during earnings, then they'd buy it, and then they'd have they'd get out before the next earnings, and they'd dump it again before earnings, and then they'd buy it. It was like Groundhog Day. They just control the board. So I think you're going to see more of these companies go private, and because they don't really care if they're growing. They're just like, we just want the cash flow, man. And these companies cash flow despite what people think. They do cash flow. They might not make the greatest public companies anymore, but they cash flow. So I do think someone could take Macy's over next year. Yep, please hit the like button. It helps greatly with the algorithm. Let's talk about LMND. So I tried this, and then it pulled back. What do you do now with it? Yeah, I don't have the volume. Here's what you do have. Okay, you have your 22 here, and you finally closed above your 12. And here's your 3, 5, and 8. And you see how they're starting to try to turn? See how the 3's pointing up and the 5's pointing up and the 8's pointing up? So you got a change in trend on Tuesday, and it's following through. I think you have some other stuff you have to work through, but wait, there's more. So if I look at this like that on a 15-minute chart, and you'll see it, you probably already saw it, right? You probably already have this all marked off, John, but like watch. See this right here? Okay, so you're over. Now the question is, are you going to stay over or not? And I don't know because you haven't tested it yet. But what you could do is you could use this as your stop. Right there. Hold on, John. See it? Bonk. Bonk. So it did test. Maybe a retest. Oh, God. Maybe a retest. I do like that, though. I do. I think that there's something there. But you have to think like 43s, like, okay, I got to get out. How about the hourly, John? I don't know if you marked this off or not. It's your 50% level from earnings. And that was 61.8 or 78.4 right here. See it? And that's where you kept rejecting. Okay. So 47 is going to be an issue. How about this? From that date. Okay. So from that date, how about we do pre and post? How much buying was after hours? Was there enough buying that we should mark that off? Let's get rid of this for a second. And let's drill into that, John. I think we should do Q&A, like one big Q&A every week is what I'm thinking of doing. Maybe Fridays, we'll just do open Q&A. All right, so let's get this right there, right? Maybe we'll do that. I don't know, that might be a good idea. Come on, work with me, not against me. Go. Well, I mean, there's your answer. Right? Tested, rallied, gaps it down, rallies back, test, breaks out. You really don't want to break that. You see the buyers there, John. So there's your value high and you flipped it. So, I mean, you got a lot going for you there. I could see why you would be interested in this. I don't know if today's the day with the light volume, but I'll watch it. What's up, Jacob? BXLS. What do you got for us? I was just talking to someone that has an account there. They let them borrow. If they buy their high yield fund, they're allowed to borrow like 95% of the invested capital. It's kind of crazy. Blackstone Secured Lending Fund. I don't know what that they're getting on that. I don't know. Let's go take a look at your dividend. You seem to be really excited about this dividend, so I'm short something. 77 cents. 77 cents. 77 cents. How the heck are you doing that? How are they doing that? 70 cents. So you increased it. What was it here? 50, 10. Okay, that's a problem. 50, 50, 20. Okay, 50, 20, 60, 60, 70. Did you ever drop it? 70. You ever dropped it? Just kept going. 77, right? Are you 77 now? 77 now. So all you're doing is increasing the dividend. So you're making $2. You're making $3.15 a quarter, $3.15 a year. I'm sorry. What's the 30-day yield? Annual yield is 9.55. Yeah, what in the world is going on there? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'd have to find out what they own. Now you got me like going down the rabbit hole. How are you doing that? Their one fund in Lipper is like the highest, but I don't know how you're doing that. I'd want to look at their balance sheet. I'd want to look at what's on their books. Let me see if I can find it super quick. Yeah, I can find it here. Hold on. Credit ratings. It's BBB minus, and it's got a BBB by Fitch. And they got analysts covered. Dividends, corporate governance, filings, events, presentations, overview. Annual total return, investments are first lien secured. They're 98.7% in first position. Investments at fair value are 12 billion. Okay. What's the market cap? 8 billion. Investments at fair value are 12 billion. They're in first lien position. So, okay, I got it. I know what they're doing now. I got it. So what they're doing, I'm glad we spent time on this, but maybe I could do a whole video on this thing, I think. All right, so what they're doing is they're buying depressed assets that may have missed a payment or are struggling, and they're using their capital and their wherewithal, and they're in first lien position to get something out of it. So they're paying for, like, if your market value is 8 and you're at 12, let's say you're paying 70 cents on the dollar for your bonds, and then they're working with the companies, I think. That's really interesting. Like, really interesting. And what's even more fascinating to me about what they're doing, because it's all high yield structured debt, like, here's what's really cool about this. Watch. Here's high yield. Look what high yield's doing. And they're killing it. How? That's really an interesting idea, Jacob. I'm going to look at that. I'm definitely going to look at that. That kind of stuff's fascinating to me. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at this, dude. I want to go. I want to get into their books. I want to see what they own, and like on a percentage basis on holdings and everything. I love stuff like this. I did something similar to this a long time ago. God, probably 20 years ago, and the thing was actually trading at a discount, as this thing says it was trading at a discount. Right? You see how, like, where it says that, when I said the fair value is 12 billion. You can go on their website, pull up the fair value. This thing went to fair value, and you were getting the dividends. It was a huge boon. So I find this kind of stuff fascinating. It's like a puzzle to me. But I would 100% keep looking at this. I wouldn't even worry about where it goes. Just like, it might be one of those things you just keep adding money to, and you get, somewhere between 8 to 10%. And what's interesting is, like, if they're doing the private lending stuff and they're taking advantage of that. Never broke. Once it got over, it never broke. All right, I like that, Jacob, a lot. I think it's really interesting. JBL, these kinds of names, I'd start watching. I think that this kind of stuff's coming back big time, bigly. I don't know if this is the one because of the control bar right there, Jacob. You see it? I got to get over that stuff. And then you have to get over this. You have to get over that. Right? There's a whole trade right here alone. I have a friend that all he does is wait for these gap fills to flip, and then he puts them on. Like, here, watch. Wait, this is all he does. Like, all he does. See it? Like, as soon as that closes over, he's in. That's his, like, it's crazy how they work, but that's his whole move. They have to close over it, and then he's in. Look how it's holding. So you need something like that there. But that's his sweet move. It's kind of funny. I do think that something like this can continue to go. I don't know that you need to get involved right away. I don't know what the news was. I'm not up to speed. Generics, like, this is one of the largest generic makers in the world. The amount of trouble that pharma is going to have with the current administration or the administration that's coming in, They don't have a clue, I don't think. I think that healthcare is more of a clue. I think you can go a lot higher on stuff like this, like a lot. I did very well with this when companies like Endo Pharmaceuticals and all those companies started making like generic Oxycontin and all that stuff. Teva was big on that, and then they start making like all other kinds of generic stuff. I would look into why they're doing what they're doing, like what made them move. Is it really 855? For God's sake, man. I might just have to do one of these like super long one day, like Q&A. I really like this name. If I'd like to know why it's doing what it's doing, I'm going to mark it for me to look into. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. Oh, it's going to be a great trading day. Morning from Houston, morning from Miami. No, I left it off. I left it off on purpose because of the holiday, and I wanted to work on Saturday's video. Saturday's video is packed, so I didn't do Thursday's video yesterday for like the first time, and probably I don't think I did it last year too during the holidays. I think I took that day off last year too. But I'm restructuring some stuff with the community, and I'm restructuring some stuff with YouTube to have more like specific days that are going to be specific events. I think it'll be very helpful to people. But no, I did not. I was too focused on Saturday and looking at the themes. So I'm trying to put together this theme. I was listening to calls last night. Like I listened to interviews again, and I was really focused on this one. Like Bezos did this interview on DealBook, and I don't think people listen to it enough. But he really explains why the internet or AI is not a gold rush, why it's like electricity. And I mean, he's right. So I worked on that last night. I'm going to go over it on Saturday. Sound? Yeah, I mean, those kinds of names, dude, like this is their time to shine. I don't know. I don't know that you have to be in there today. You can watch them and kind of go from there. I think I have this on the list already to watch. You want to buy the pullbacks on this stuff and then just wait. And some of these are going to be big dogs today. Like some of these things are going to like really move. That's how I feel about it. I think some of these things are going to absolutely explode today. So go from there. But I think some of these names are going to be just absolutely like monsters. So you're going to want to watch, but I do think that way. So I really do. I think some of this stuff's going to just absolutely fly. I think this is already in there. Yeah, we did this one yesterday. Well, you know that. But I think a lot of those things are going to fly. Hi, Lisa. Happy Friday. What's up, Market? Good one from Thailand. ARQQ. People love Thailand when they go there. Absolutely love it. Huge. Is this a quantum computing name? I don't know this one. I'm just going to be honest. I don't have a clue. No volume. I would get slaughtered trying to get in and out in that thing. I get slaughtered, but let's go take a look at it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I thought that was daily. I don't know why this is doing what it's doing. I don't have an answer for you. Maybe it should be doing what it's doing. I don't know. A lot of this stuff was dollars, and now they're rocking. I don't know, man. I watch the levels and trade it, and what I've been telling people to do is you buy it and then you scale out of it and then you're done. Like you don't want to keep going back to the well with these because this all will come home to roost. It's just a question of when, and go from there. Let's see here. Good going. The video looks fine to me. What's up, Journal? It is. It's awesome. What's up, Boomer? One of the guys made the music. Smaller companies too, dude. A lot higher. Dollar can go a lot higher. Yeah, I like this. I actually like I own both. I like the IONQ more, candidly. I'm always afraid. Not afraid, but like I just be worried. There's something out there. I don't know, man. I don't have an answer for that. Rwandan coffee? Really? This is like insane how good this is. It's like a party. Blacked out. We're back. We're back, Maria. We're back. Yeah, I think those names all look fairly decent. You know, I think you have to start thinking. We'll talk about it on Saturday in some detail, but like this kind of stuff, like see the undercut here and then the bounce, like watch. See it? See the positive divergence? See it? Like this stuff's setting up. So undercut, test, flip, you know, washed out earnings. It reminds me a lot of like Lulu, that whole space really. Like, you know, I was watching this one. This one looks like it's in much greater trouble. Five below too. Like, you know, this kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, you want to start watching it. I think you're way off the 200 here. You're way off. Are you off? You're way off there too, right? Like way off, right? Yeah, you can't wait. I do like this. I do think that this is something to look at. Yeah. I'm not a bottom feeder usually. I did it with Lulu because the setup was so perfect that we did it. We started to do it with Ulta, and I should have stayed with it. You know, I think I got chickened out of it when Buffett blew out of it because he got scared. But usually when Buffett does the work and then he blows out of them, they tend to work anyway. You know, he blew out of, you know, Taiwan Semi at $80. You know, it's tripled almost on him. So, you know, I mean, he's got his own thesis. Don't get me wrong. But like after you have to realize he has all these guys do all that work. And it doesn't mean the trade's going to not work. It just might mean that he might want the money for something else. You know, he got out of BAC. That was smart. But like all he's doing is buying Oxy. And how's that going? So, you know, but he looks out like decades. So I don't know. If I had to look, I mean, I might take a look at Ulta as well. Like those are the kinds of names. But the dollar trade name is interesting. And you go here and just take a look at this and see how it's going. Right? You just flipped it. See it? So it's definitely there. It's definitely worth paying attention to. You know, it's just a question of, you know, are you willing to hold it as it redevelops? And you have to let them build. Like they take time to build. But when they do, you know, and you catch these things right, man, you know, 200 to 550, like you don't know what you're going to catch. You don't know when you're going to catch it. If you're ever going to get that right, you can get it wrong too. But, you know, if you think long term, I think Dell's got issues. I think Dell's got big issues. I don't really see the AI phone as a thing, or the AI PC as a thing. Yeah, I want to look at these kinds of names. These are the kinds of names you need to be looking at. This kind of stuff, dude. You got to be looking at this kind of stuff for sure. You have to be looking at this kind of stuff. I don't know if it's now that you have to do it, but these smaller mid-cap semis, you got to start looking at them. Yeah, they're buying distressed, right? That's what they're doing for pennies and capital. And then, yeah, right. That's what I figured they're doing. And they're probably even buying and they're probably buying directly from the banks, like private lending that had issues that they want to get off their books. Good morning from Philadelphia. Good morning from Miami. I was just looking at pricing and housing in Philly and how cheap it's gotten over the years. It's actually dropped a lot. Yeah, that's true too. He does get a special dividend. Let's see what else. Orange is gapping up her MVI. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I know you're gonna have a lot of these little guys today, man, that are gonna move. It's that kind of day, and every single one of them is going to be in quantum computing. Like it is what it is. All right, trade to win, guys. Have a great weekend. Watch Saturday's video. It's packed.